everybody. It's Allie. And welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, April 25th, 2021. Victor Newman is ruthless. Lest you forget it. You got that? Victor Newman is ruthless. Whoever is coming up with Victor's material right now deserves a gold star because they are reminding me why I love this show. Locke goes out to the ranch mid-heart attack to again try to renegotiate this Cyaxaries sale deal with Victor, tries to get more money out of Victor, and I just have to side note here and say I loved how Ashland Locke's solution to dealing with the fact that he was having a heart attack was to just get more and more drunk. He said, I seem to be having a tingling sensation in my arm. You better make that bourbon a double. Oh. And by the time that Ashland finally got around to acknowledging that he actually might be having a heart attack, he asked Victor for help, and Victor was like, oh, I'll call for help after you sign that contract. Damn! Victor Newman is back. That was a classic soap opera moment right there, folks. I was waiting for Locke to drop to the floor and for Victor to leave him for dead, kick his hand on the way out the door. I loved it. I loved it. But Locke just sat there. He was just grasping his chest, and Victor was like, hey, I've got 911 on speed dial. I've dialed the 9 and the 2 1s. All I have to do is press send. You gonna sign that contract? Yeah, you can do it. Little lower, little lower. There you go. And Locke signed it. He signed it. Cyaxaries belongs to Victor. Right out from under Victoria's nose. For now. For now. I don't know. There's no way that Locke is not going to challenge that signature. There's no way that he's just going to let that happen to him. He is definitely going to be seeking revenge, if not taking that to court. I mean, there's no way that contract can hold up in court. He was forced to sign it under duress, and I'm sure any judge would be able to take one look at that crinkly signature and realize something wasn't right. Then again, Nikki was the only witness to the whole thing. She clomped in, saw what her husband was doing, hovering over a dying man, forcing him to clutch onto the ballpoint pen, and Nikki was like, Victor, that's not very nice. You need to help that man. Every second counts when you're having a heart attack, Victor. I'm very disappointed in you right now, Victor. I think I will be telling Cook not to make any dessert for you tonight. You have been a very bad boy. Nikki must be so tired of running back and forth, being a mediator between those two. Nikki had 2 talks with Victoria and a flashback about it this week. Do you guys think that Y&R is giving us more flashbacks right now? And are they doing it trying to save a little bit of budget by reusing material they already filmed, cut down on costs? It just, the fact that Victoria was flashing back to a conversation that she had with Nikki yesterday seemed a little bit like stalling to me. Or I don't know, maybe Y&R just wanted to give us a second look at those 2 People's Choice Awards that Nikki had hanging from her ears, acting like they were earrings. Did you see those giant things? If one of them dropped off, she really could have hurt herself. They looked heavy. Well, Nikki tells Victoria, oh, Victor can't change, so it's going to be up to you, Victoria, to repair this relationship. Well, that's not very fair. Why should all of the responsibility of fixing the relationship fall onto one person? And clearly, Victoria doesn't care all that much about fixing the relationship. Right now, Victoria is very focused on seeking Billy's approval, not her father's. And on a side, I think that Victor is also very focused on seeking love and approval from Adam. So it's kind of funny that it's too bad that Victor and Victoria maybe can't just focus on, having love and approval between each other. They're both seeking it elsewhere and not getting it from each other. But Victoria is riding high right now on that big bouquet of flowers that Billy sent to her. That's right. Billy sent Victoria flowers as a congratulations for winning Cyaxaries away from Victor and Adam when she thought she had won Cyaxaries away from Victor and Adam. Flowers? Well, why not a box of chocolates too? Flowers? Lily said, I hope they weren't red roses. You know how Victoria misinterprets things. Yeah. But Billy just says, oh, no, not at all. That's not it. In fact, Victoria was, again, so embarrassed about her declaration of love for me. I'm sure she's not reading anything into it. Cut to Victoria thumbing through Billy's bouquet of flowers, plucking out the yellow calla lily, cutting the stem off, and fixing it to her lapel. Oh, that's right, Y&R chatters who are not familiar with types of flowers. That was not just any flower that Victoria had pinned to her pink lapel. That was a yellow calla lily. Victoria was walking around town with a lily on her lapel. Coincidence? I think not. See, now, that is the kind of helpful insight that you pay me for here at Y&R Chat. That crafty bee, Victoria, was walking around town wearing a cut lily on her jacket. Like it was a deer head mounted on her wall. I loved that. She looked fantastic. She was a total diva. I wish Lily would smack her. I can't get enough. Lily needs to smack some sense into Billy, too. Here he goes. off on another Newman expose mission. Didn't he learn his lesson the last time when he went to jail? Well, when Victoria finds out from Nikki that Victor closed that deal, she ran right out to the ranch to declare to Victor that she is closing the door on him. There will be no more Victor Newman at Newman Enterprises. She's not stopping with just not putting his portrait back on the wall. She is eliminating him entirely. She is in charge now. She has got some nerve. Who does she think owns the company? She does not have enough leverage to go making that proclamation. But of course, Victoria is being backed up by Billy here. She had to run and tell Billy about the whole thing, get him wound up. So Billy was right there behind her at the ranch, tagging along like her little yapper dog or something, barking at Victor's feet while she was going at him. Billy chose to be at the ranch with Victoria instead of being at his date with Lily. What? Being late to his date with Lily, making Lola keep the food warm just so that what? He could have a front seat to watch Victoria tell off her father? So what? So even what? Victoria has told Victor off before. It never sticks. Because at the end of the day, Victoria needs her father's approval too. And she will surely, eventually, go back for it. Victoria is sure to go right back to needing her father's approval the same way that Billy is sure to destroy any good thing that comes along his way. Lily has been so patient with him. And she is ungodly beautiful. I mean, wow. On Friday, she was glittery and sparkly and shiny. And then there was the dress. I was dying. Just incredible. He is so lucky. She is so good for him and with him. And there's a part of me that just keeps feeling so darn sorry for Lily, having to rein Billy in every 30 seconds. But I tell you what, she knew what she was getting into. She's known what she's getting into, and she continues to choose it. She started her relationship with him when he was in trouble last time, and then, true to form, Billy comes to her and he says, "I'm sorry, I was a bad boy. I'll never do it again." And she takes him back. Now here we are. He's doing it all over again. That's what Victoria is banking on. That's the thing right there. That's the cycle. Billy does something bad. He gets in trouble. He says he'll never do it again. And then he does it again. Victoria knows that cycle better than anyone. And she is going to be perfectly happy to stand by to pick up the pieces when or if Lily decides that she has had enough of his sexy nonsense. Funny moment. This week, Summer said to Kyle and Jack, "Ashland Locke makes my grandfather look like a choir boy." And Jack quickly responded, "We'll debate that another time." That was a good line. That was a good moment. Fun. The show's fun right now, and I'm having fun with it. So Tara shows up in town this week to personally give Kyle the warning that Ashland knows something is up. He is up to something too. So I want to take a little pause here to discuss Tara, because we haven't really talked about Tara all that much. She has been, I'll call her background noise. She's been a little bit of background noise to me for the past several weeks. But it really wasn't until this week that she started making some sounds of her own. Summer jumped onto her on Friday, kind of similar to how Summer jumped onto Sally when Sally first came to town. I mean, Summer is always wanting to tell someone how solid her relationship with Kyle is. But the more she has to say it, the less I think she believes it. And Tara seemed to have this, I don't know, cold, broken soul that she pointed back at Summer, and it showed me a little something of her. I just really buy Tara as the wife of this cutthroat mogul. She is so exact, so precise, so pointed, and so proper about everything that she says, but her eyes are so sleepy and bloodshot, like she's not even human. She's a humanoid. She's a robot or something. She is so robotic. I would not be surprised if Tara peeled off her face to reveal that she just had a pair of glass eyeballs on top of a steel robot face going on behind there. Boy. I thought it might be a little bit of an interesting poll question this week to ask you guys, what's your impression of Tara Locke? Again, she's been around a little while, but she's just now kind of moving to the forefront. What's your impression of her? Do you see Tara as an overall positive person, positive character? Do you have a positive impression of her? Or is it negative? Do you think she's a troublemaker? Do you think she has intentions? Do you just not like her? Or are you kind of neutral on her? YRChat.com. Let's get some conversation going around Tara. I think that should be interesting. I'm leaning toward the positive. She seems to be a potential ally for Kyle. They want the same thing. First, this week, she did stop him from confronting Locke in public, offering himself up pretty much on a silver platter, offering to step away from Jabot completely if Locke would leave everyone in his family and leave the company alone. Tara stopped him from making that sacrifice, and then at the end of Friday's show, Nikki, another robotic wife of a powerful mogul, called Tara and gave her the news that her husband had had the heart attack and was in the hospital. And Tara took the time to be reassuring Kyle. Even though she's got plenty on her plate to be dealing with right now, she took the time to reassure Kyle that she might have a way to help him. I'm guessing that Tara has tucked away some kind of blackmail evidence on her husband as an insurance policy. You know, that's what you have blackmail for, just an insurance policy in case things go south. That's what Sally and Summer were doing with each other. That blackmail insurance policy. I think Tara has one, and if she is willing to use it to get Ashland to call off the hounds, then she's gonna get some points from me. Top story tonight, lead cosmetics manufacturer Jabot Cosmetics has been shut down amid rumors of unsafe working conditions. Jabot CEO, that's right, the Jack Abbott, claims that the rumors are false and that production will resume as fast as possible. Cut to a newsreel of a halted assembly line with uncapped J-branded perfume bottles going rancid on the conveyor belt. This is a crisis. This is a crisis of tainted face cream proportions. Jack even said, this reminds me of the tainted face cream scandal of 2006. And I said to myself, oh boy, this new writer knows just what I want. References to old stories. Mention that Jabot tainted face cream scandal, and I will just lap that right up with my tongue. Thank you very much. All I can say is thank you. Thank you very much for proving that you know this show and that you've seen it before. Sally said to Lauren, I'm in love with Jack. And Lauren responded, okay, so this report looks good. Thanks so much. I was shocked. I was surprised. Lauren has been such a Sally booster, and she seemed really happy for so long that Jack had finally found someone new. Lauren was hounding Jack to start dating for a long time. And when Sally told Lauren that she loved Jack, Lauren had such a non-reaction. And it was so awkward that Sally pressed Lauren about her non-reaction. Like, I just told you I love Jack and you said nothing. You told me to get that report on your desk. And Lauren just said, well, I don't think that you have known Jack long enough to have fallen in love with him. I think what you have is an infatuation with him. But that's not love. Ouch. Ouch. The truth probably hurts. And that might very well be the truth. Even though I am surprised by Lauren's reaction, I thought it was an incredibly mature reaction of Lauren. She didn't stick her nose into it. She didn't ask for this information. She didn't go prying. It was brought to her. And when asked of her opinion, she gave a very mature response. Like, she wasn't trying to matchmake. She didn't pull any punches. At this point in her life, Lauren Fenmore recognizes the difference between love and lust. And whether she's right or wrong, boy, she passed that assessment right along to Sally. Love and lust. Well, those are two very different yet interconnecting things. Interconnected feelings, right? Perhaps Sharon could use some help sorting between those two things. Love and lust. Or perhaps Sharon knows exactly which is which. Ray was this close to deciding to stay with Sharon this week. He was this close to just buying a vacation house with her and waking up at sunrise to make love in the mountains. Sharon's idea of romance is to wake up at 6 a.m. make love, then watch the sunrise. So, does the sex happen before or after coffee? And does it happen before or after brushing teeth? I'm just trying to wrap my brain around Sharon's ideal romantic mountain vacation second house getaway here. Inquiring minds want to know. Trying to get the full picture. Lola is the one who gave Ray a little bit of a boost in the direction of trying to save his marriage, but then literally in the middle of their makeup conversation, Adam calls Sharon on her cell phone after he already told her that he was going to go his own way. And he just spoiled their whole happy reunion right there. What did Adam even need to talk to Sharon about anyway? What does he need to say to her? He's on the run. He needs to be focused on staying safe. What else needs to be said? He just has that way of interrupting, doesn't he? Ray grabbed that phone quick and he made some threats. Adam hangs up the phone, and then Ray totally changed his mind about their reunion, remembering why they were having the problems that they're having in the first place. And yeah, at this point I'm starting to get tired of the topic. I'm hearkening back to something that Ray himself said to Lola, and it was, no matter how much you love someone, you have to ask yourself at a certain point, is this a battle that you're gonna win? Sutton and Naya are both very impressed with Amanda, lavishing all kinds of compliments upon her now that she has something they want, like a brilliant legal strategy that will shift blame away from Sutton and onto a known convicted criminal like Victor Newman. It is brilliant. Amanda is clearly willing to go the distance, and I'm getting happy family reunion vibes that I'm too afraid to trust. I'm feeling cynical. Amanda's now coming out to the house to meet the rest of the family. I'm too afraid to trust it. It all seems too good to be true. Because also, Amanda got that invite from Sutton and Naya at the same time, followed by a warning from Imani. Imani sent Amanda a text message that said, "This will only end badly for you." I think Imani knows something. And I wonder if Imani could end up being an unexpected ally for Amanda. Because what if Imani knows that Sutton is guilty and knows that Amanda is about to put all of her chips on Sutton, besmirch her own father's memory, get herself into some hot water with the Newman family, and all just to find out that she was wrong about it all? Oh, I think Amanda might win Sutton's case, but I also think she might find out afterwards that he's guilty. This week, Elena sees that Devon and Amanda are reconciled, and so she wonders why she and Nate can't do the same. Well, maybe it's because Nate has finally gone and gotten himself some self-respect. Nate deserves better than second place. He always did, especially when it comes to love. Who wants to be someone else's runner-up prize? Ooh, well, my eyebrow was raised big time this week by how much Lola was getting involved. She made up this elaborate lie about a sick relative in an effort to try to get Nate and Elena to come together to diagnose her relative over dinner and wine and dessert and all that. But I kept thinking, no, Lola, forget about Elena, Lola. You need to grab some of that Nate for yourself. He's lonely. He's single. He can be yours. When she ran into Nate the first time, she was trying to talk to him, trying to understand him, and she was asking him why he won't just give Elena another chance. And she seemed to get where he was coming from. What he said was, I believe that love should be consistent and supportive, and that's not what his relationship with Elena ended up being. I thought Lola got that. He even opened up about his fiance who died. And I think from that scene, what I took away was that Nate's ideal relationship is the one that he already had when his fiance died. That's really deep. That's really sad. So I was annoyed that Lola was trying to then push Nate into the direction of Elena, which is clearly not something that he wants, not something that he needs, maybe not something that's going to be healthy for him. Just because Elena and Nate are both single does not mean that they should be together. Nate could have love again with Lola. They have some things in common. They both cook. They both love their jobs. And they can both watch an open heart surgery video together without puking. It's love. It's destiny. Plus, they both had previous relationships where they kind of were the one that got burned. And they would be hot together. And it would drive Elena crazy. But I don't think it's going to happen. I absolutely think we are going to be losing Sasha Calle to Supergirl. There's just no way around it. If former Faith cannot balance Y&R with another TV series role, then I just really doubt that little Lola will be hanging around Genoa City while filming a major motion picture for a major brand. I don't see it happening. I just have a feeling that a lot of the Lola scenes that we've had lately, and there've been a lot of Lola scenes lately, it's great, but I feel like this is the end. I feel like they were just filming filler for her because they didn't know what to do while she was off auditioning, and maybe they're still making plans, but I don't know. If we must lose the character of Lola, then maybe we should use someone else. Maybe Y&R should think about recasting Lola. It wouldn't be the same, but maybe also like Faith, it could be an opportunity to drive her character into a new direction with a new actress. Mariah's morning sickness sure came on fast, didn't it? And strong. Even the smell of her regular, everyday moisturizer made her sick to her stomach. I can relate. Pregnancy just about killed my soap and lotion making because I could not smell anything. I could not bear the smell of anything when I was pregnant. I needed fragrance free. And I did not want to risk never wanting to smell any of my good stuff again. So I just put everything away. I'm like, I don't even want to smell it. I don't want to come anywhere near it because I don't want to take the chance that I smell it one time. It makes me puke and then I'm done forever. But yeah, I thought that seeing Mariah going through her morning sickness was quirky. You know, I mean, I think that Y&R is hinging a lot of this story on Mariah's fish out of water pregnancy. Mariah is such a quirky, raw person, that part of this journey is just going to be watching her go through the things that are so common, but that she has to do with her uncommon Mariah Copeland awkwardness. And in there lies entertainment, certainly. And hopefully she'll be going through all of this with the support of her partner, Tessa. I was just so happy for Sherrod when I saw Tessa show up with the flowers and the serenade. All I care about is Sherrod's happiness. And I hope that was that Gerber daisy was a little bit of an olive branch. Because honestly, that moment was long overdue. Mariah and Tessa have such separate on-screen lives that the viewers have got to keep seeing moments like this in order to continue to believe them, to continue to believe in them. And I thought this was a great start. I think that the song Tessa sang was the prettiest song that I've ever heard her sing, and with no musical accompaniment. It was just an a cappella song, and it was just lovely. It was just her lovely voice and a lovely, lovely sentiment. And I tell you, at the end of this journey, there had better be wedding bells for those two. Surprise! Abby gets a phone call from Chance. Wow! He can just totally use a phone now. How nice. Why are we acting like Chance is out of town away on a business trip? Why are we doing that? He freaked out about his own fertility issues. He ran off on some secret agent mission, and he abandoned Abby. He left her with nothing but a note. And now he's texting and calling out of the blue. I would be so pissed at him, leaving me in the lurch, saying, "You go on, baby. You make this baby without me, baby. Whatever, Chance. Whatever, Y&R. Ugh. Either materialize a new Chance or put a bullet in him. I am not moved by Abby's continued relationship with his phone." Is there any chance that old Chance will just come walking around the corner of the Chancellor Mansion one of these days, holding a Gerber daisy, singing an a cappella serenade to his poor long-lost wife? I doubt it. But Abby's going to need to get a life. She's going to need him to come back and to get a life. She's going to need to have something besides Mariah for the next 9 months. Because once that baby gets here, Abby is going to have plenty of time to hover and helicopter over her own child. But she cannot make Mariah feel like she's not free to even take a business trip for Jabot. Abby cannot make the next 9 months about her. I know she's getting there, but Abby always makes everything about her. I think that's the point of all of this surrogacy. Abby wants to be all up in every moment, every day of Mariah's surrogate pregnancy, or she would have just chose adoption. For Abby, it is all about the process as much as it is all about the end result. But if she's not careful, she is going to push Mariah too hard and end up pushing her away. Buckle your seatbelt. It's gonna be a hell of a ride. That's right, Ashley. You're right, Ashley. The baby Abbott Newman Chancellor drama is going to be a hell of a ride. That was our quote from last week, and the answer was Ashley. Lynn, Henry, Daisy, Yay, Marky, Tony, Victoria, and Jamie, you guys are the ones who guessed it right. I'm happy that that one seemed to be a little bit of a harder one. Maybe this one is a little harder too. Tell me if you know who said this. I've had enough drama for a lifetime. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a hard one. I've had enough drama for a lifetime. I disagree. I want more and more drama. I want it on my screen and on my TV, not in my life, but I do so love this drama. And I do so hope you go to yrchat.com to leave your guess, because if you guess who said that, I will give you your shout out during next week's Y&R Chat. Let's read some comments, starting with Daisy, who says, it's really sad that Chance is not there to join in this happiness with Abby. And because they have him texting and calling, I wonder if he will return soon. If he does, there may be problems, because technically his wife is having a child with his friend. So even though it looks like a nice thing that Devon did to help, upfront and personal, I can see Chance being resentful and angry at Devon, and maybe even envious that it's not him. If Chance does come back into the picture, yes, that's a whole nother wrench to be thrown in. There are just so many people involved in this process, and if any one of them shakes loose, the whole thing could go bad. I guess the question is, who's going to be the one to shake loose, not when and if. Also, though, I think it's interesting that Devon and Lily got to have a conversation this week about how Lily used a surrogate for her pregnancy. It was nice to see Lily also acknowledging that she has any connection to Abby whatsoever. But yes, I think that Devon's going to need someone like Lily to talk to about all of this. To me, Devon almost seems like the least likely person to shake loose. I feel like I see it more being Mariah as a potential, or someone who we haven't even expected yet. Who knows? Could be Tessa, could be any number of people. Chance. I mean, we don't know where the problem's going to start. We just know that there's going to be a problem. But yes, Devon seems, he's had a couple of little slips, and the fact that they seem to want to, he mentioned that Abby wants Devon to be involved with the child, may certainly present a problem, and as Daisy's pointing out, it may present a problem for Chance. Chance may not have fully thought about what it would feel like to have another man being a primary role model in his child's life. I mean, I don't know. We don't know because Chance is not here, and we haven't had any of his dialogues or our feelings about it. But we did get some of Abby's this week, and it was nice to see her talking a little more frankly with Devon about the fact that her husband is gone. Abby is very clearly putting on the happy face for the world, but we did see her have that moment of weakness with Devon, and that made those scenes a little bit more raw and real, and what she's going through being a little bit more raw and real. I'm just still raw and real about the way that the Chance exit happened. Well, Henry with some news here saying Amanda will be temporarily replaced due to Michelle Morgan having an emergency eye surgery. They're bringing in another former actress from The Bold and the Beautiful to portray the role of Amanda, and her air date will be April 26th, so I've read. So my goodness, that's tomorrow. So we are going to have a replacement Amanda starting tomorrow. Sandra notes that it's Carla Mosley who will play that role. She was Maya on Bold and the Beautiful. So you might, even if you don't know Bold and the Beautiful, you still might recognize her face. Wow, that's a pretty good recast, temporary recast. I'm still always going to prefer my Michelle Morgan, but yes, that's not a bad quick replacement. It's a face that we know. Carla Mosley certainly has the chops. She is a very good actress. So I wonder how long she will be in the role for. Marianne V suggests that Michelle Morgan could just wear a fancy eye patch when she's ready to come back. I like that idea. Maybe something that's bedazzled. I don't think so, though. I did see a report that Michelle Morgan is back on set this week. So, depending on how far ahead they are with the filming schedules, she could be back in just a matter of a couple of weeks. I wonder if Y&R decided to pull back on Amanda's story a little bit, because, boy, this is a critical time for that character. This character has a lot going on, and to move forward full steam ahead with a different actress is pretty bold. Of course, Y&R is pretty good at making those bold casting choices. They don't seem to mind that much. So, but I don't know. I would imagine Y&R is probably, a month ahead at this point. So it might be a very critical month for the character of Amanda taking place with another actress in the role. Oh, let's talk about Elena. Leslie snarks. Well, that's why Nate and you couldn't do the same, Elena. The look on your face toward Devon and Amanda was not, I don't see why Nate and I can't do the same. It screams, I wish I was with Devon instead of Amanda. Elena was looking longingly at Devon and Amanda, saying, oh, looks like they patched things up. And maybe it was a little bit of, I've screwed up my relationship, and my relationships, and I wish I hadn't. But yes, what I read from it too was, someone else took the love of my life. Someone else took the life that I wanted to have with Devon. And then she turns around and is just going right back to Nate as the runner-up prize. It doesn't sit well with me. I really do wish that what we were going to see was maybe Nate moving in the direction of someone new, like Lola. T. Nicole says maybe Lola and Nate will be the new couple. As Lola tries to play matchmaker between Elena and Nate, she and Nate will fall for each other. I would be here to see if they could work as a couple. I'm done with the Elena, Amanda, and Devon love square. I don't know that I'm done with it, but I tell you, my patience is being tested with it. I would love to see Lola and Nate, but Gary says Lola now has her hands full playing matchmaker with Mariah for Sharon and Ray. That's going to be her top priority. Yeah, Lola is just there to help other characters with their love problems. Lola's not going to get a love problem of her own. I think Lola needs a story of her own, but I don't think she's going to get it. Gary also says, hey, who's interested in Sharon and Ray getting down to some serious pre-COVID kissing to perk up a ho-hum marriage? Anyone? No one? Yeah, I think officially no one. Maybe just me and you, Gary. I'm not sure. It almost seems like Y&R is instead of showing any growth, any closeness, anything between Sharon and Ray, it almost seems like they're going out of their way to keep the distance between Ray and Sharon, both physically and emotionally. Brenda says, I'm fed up with Ray's bullying, and I wish the writers would get a clue. They had finally started showing Sharon as confident and independent, and now they're showing her as a cowering victim of a jealous husband. I would love to see Sharon serve Ray with divorce papers instead of giving in to his whims. There's a perspective. Oh, bullying. That's an interesting choice of word here, given our current storyline context. You see Ray as bullying Adam. Ellen says Ray is very controlling. He and Nick both expect to sit in judgment of Sharon's decisions as if she's a child. It's a real step backward for her. She is absolutely cowering in Ray's presence instead of stating her reasons for her decisions and asking for his support with confidence. Ray wants obedience. Sharon should show him the door. She never should have married him. Oh, and Gary also says Ray's not a bully, weighing in here. He's a stalwart, like in the Old West. He probably has too much integrity for his own good. I concede that Sharon cowers a bit when he shows up. We all want to measure up. Ray could learn to relax a little, but this is the man that Sharon romanced from back in the day when she took the job at the police station, trying to keep Ray from getting the jump on the Margarita Gang. And he's no different now than when he was back then. Oh boy, this is a good discussion. I think it's one or the other. You're definitely either Team Ray or you're Team Adam. I don't think that Ray is wrong for being ticked. Sharon and Adam kissed. I mean, if my wife kissed another man, or if a man kissed my wife, I would be ticked. And Ray also thinks, we have to remember, Ray also thinks that Adam tried to kill him. And all of the evidence points to that. We're omniscient. We understand that Adam was being set up, but Ray doesn't know that. All he knows is that this man's kissed on my wife and tried to kill me, or that's what he thinks. I don't think that Ray's being unreasonable at this juncture in the story, but I will say I am tired of this type of story for Adam. Like, every single story around Adam is just an Adam's smorgasbord. Like, pick your thing that you hate Adam about and then cram it down everyone's throat. Like, can't we come up with something new for Adam? I feel this character needs a breath of fresh air. We need something new for Adam. Maybe this company will be it. Maybe. Maybe we also need something new for Billy. How about a new old Billy? Ooh, Southside Granny says, maybe this is a little off topic, but Billy Miller is on Paramount Grounds filming. Is he coming back to Y&R? Oh, okay, so the second Billy number 2, Billy Miller, who probably made the role most famous, he's back on set filming at Paramount. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Hadn't heard that. I like Billy Miller quite a lot, but I like current Billy. I really do. I think Billy Miller would bring something entirely different to the role, and he was great in it. I think maybe my preference would be to keep Jason Thompson as Billy, because that's kind of what I'm used to. I'm digging the vibe. I'm loving it with Lily. But I would think it would be really cool if Y&R in some way decided to cast Billy Miller in a new role on the show. I mean, I think enough time has passed that we might be able to associate him with a new character. Everybody, it's the same as with Michelle Morgan and Amanda. Everybody just go, yeah, boy, you look awful like Billy used to. Maybe you mention it once and then maybe make a joke about it and then you move on. It could be done. Leslie, though, says, Billy. Billy. Wow, you do not send flowers to your ex-wife, period. But especially when you have a new girlfriend. Would he send them to a male to congratulate them on a business move? Probably not. It is also kind of inconsiderate because Victoria, when she's vulnerable right now on that issue, because Victoria being vulnerable right now on that issue, heck, it's inconsiderate all around. I hate to say this because I love Lily and Billy. I like them both as characters and together. I like them both as characters together than I ever did before, but it's time to cut out Lily. That's a sign that he also has feelings for Victoria still, which is totally baffling to me. Okay, so you think that it's time to just cut it because the fact that he would send flowers to Victoria, says that he's not out of the mindset of being in a relationship with Victoria. I think that's a very fair point. It's weird. It is weird that he went with flowers. He could have sent her a nice pen. Or, as Ellen says, he could have suggested that Chancecom send a congratulatory gift, and both Billy and Lily could have signed the card. The flowers, just from him, after Victoria said she loves him? No way. Lily was too nice about it. And also, given the factor that Lily has been very vocal about not wanting to get involved in any of this nonsense. Billy did a little bit of a runaround around Lily on all of this. She's expressed multiple times she's not interested in Cyaxaries. She don't care about it. She don't want him focusing on that. She don't want him focusing on Adam. She just wants him to focus on her and pleasing her, of course. But Billy kind of went around her wishes on that and sent the flowers to another woman. That doesn't look good. Victoria says, I love Lily, but she's trying too hard with Billy. Lily seems to be coming up with these great ideas to have a wonderful evening with Billy, and Billy needs to step it up and treat Lily. Apparently, these evenings are not distracting Billy. Lily needs to try another tactic. Yeah, it does seem like Lily is pulling out all of the stops to say, let's be sexy, let's be romantic. Like, she's trying real hard to act like nothing's wrong here, but maybe something's a little wrong here. This is funny. Superplex says, Billy walks out of his hotel room, and there is Victoria. He plans a dinner date. There's Victoria. He looks to his left, and there is Victoria. He looks to his right. There is Victoria. If this nitwit cannot see through Victoria, then he is dumber than a box of rocks. Another good point. Why doesn't Billy see what Victoria is doing? If it's so easy for Lily to see it, why doesn't Billy see it? Shouldn't he know Victoria a little better than anyone? Or is Victoria just that good at manipulating him? Oh, let's talk about the great and powerful Victor Newman. Astra says, I don't care how much they try to make Ashland Locke this big force to be reckoned with. Nobody is as savage as the Victor Newman. Savage. I like that word use. I agree. Great Victor Newman moment. Thank you, Y&R, for giving it to us. This is funny also. Jamie says, the idea of Nikki going out on a refreshing walk all around the ranch grounds in her power dress and her heels just tickles me. I wonder if she had a ranch hand walking in stride with her, holding a shade umbrella. Ms. Newman, you're cracking me up with this one. Yeah, Nikki went out for a stroll in the morning without Victor just because she wanted to peer into all of the outbuilding windows on the ranch looking for signs of Adam. You know, like, is there any little spots where she could find expensive, rare, empty Scotch bottles and expensive hair gel too, like, strewn about? Those would be the signs of Adam. Expensive Scotch and hair gel. What is probably happening with Adam's hair right now? I mean, he had to move quickly. I don't even know if he's getting his products. So what does he look like right now is the question. And that phone call that came in to Sharon, we didn't even hear his voice, so I'm not fully convinced that he's even okay. Where's the hair gel? This man needs it. He's on the run. I wonder what Adam's, when he does come back, I do wonder what his in hiding look is going to be. Another hoodie, perhaps. The coma wardrobe with Chelsea was the zip-up jumpsuits. The on-the-run wardrobe for Adam is the hoodie sweatshirt. I sure hope those two come face-to-face next week. Oh, Victoria also says, OMG, where is Miguel when you need him? You know it too, Victoria. If Miguel would have been at the ranch while Ashland was having his heart attack, would he have called 911 for him? I bet he would have. The ranch needs Miguel. Forget Cook. What's Cook done for me lately? Oh, switching topics, Diana says, I get the feeling that the sweet and fuzzy warm moments leading up to Mariah's pregnancy may start to take a turn now that Mariah is actually pregnant. I think we may be in for some compelling drama as Abby watches and hovers over Mariah's every move. The company trip Mariah is taking and Abby's reaction may be a bit of foreshadowing of that. I was not interested in this storyline at all until now. I hope that's the direction we're headed as I'm in for the ride. Yes, Tony says, I think the storyline with Abby hovering over Mariah might go somewhere. The current writers refer to the past, and Abby might kidnap Mariah until the baby is born. Nina is there, and over time might recognize the signs as it was done to her. I don't remember where Nina was held, but that big mansion is big, and that would explain why the writers moved Mariah in there and Tessa's sent out on the road. I like this idea. Maybe Abby won't mistreat her, but just hold her captive. Yeah, right. So was that the Rose DeVille story? Is that what that was with Nina? Oh, I should have done my research on that. But it is interesting that Nina had a kidnapped baby, I think, and she's in the household with another baby. And these Y&R writers certainly do like referring to old stories. Or how about this? Sue W. says, could the story be headed for Abby and Mariah to start to have feelings for one another and decide to raise this baby together? They would certainly make for a very layered, that would certainly make for a very layered story for all involved. I think Tessa's support thus far has been adorable, though, especially when Mariah had the pregnancy nausea. I had not even thought of that, but that's certainly a possibility that hasn't been kicked around yet here on Y&R Chat. What we've talked about potentially Abby and Devon falling in love through this, but what about Abby and Mariah? Oh, you never know. Victoria says Abby sharing her concerns with Devon gave the viewers some idea of her trepidations. My hope is that Abby will begin to share those feelings with all of her supporters. Sharing these only with Devon, Abby's missing out on the chance to bond with Mariah, Nina, and Ashley, her mom. Yes, I know. I agree. It was good to get some of Abby's internal dialogue. I'm just grumpy about it all. So keep it coming. Keep giving me the reasons why this storyline is great and why it's headed someplace great. Let's talk about last week's poll question. I asked you guys, Sally versus Phyllis, who are you rooting for? I'm a little surprised at how close this was. 59% of you rooting for Phyllis, 41% of you rooting for Sally. That's a good, strong split, which tells me this is a good, strong story. I voted for Phyllis, and I think it's only because my loyalty goes to her. I believe that there is so much strength in Sally's underdog story. She didn't come to town picking fights with anybody. It seemed like all of the fights came to her. People just didn't like her face or something. People didn't like her getting the job that she got. People didn't like her getting the man that she got. And I think a lot of the anti-Sally sentiment probably was come out of jealousy. And so that gives her that really good, strong underdog story. But boy, I just gotta give my loyalty to Phyllis. I sure do love her. Victoria says, the writers have done a good job of painting Sally sympathetically. They've downplayed her scheming and upped her emotional abilities. However, I voted for Phyllis. While Sally was romancing Jack, she was planning to release her damning information about Kyle. And if she was truly redeemed, she would have dropped her revenge plot. TB84 says, I'm Team Sally only because, quote, I love a good underdog story. Yes, I do. Of course, Phyllis is trying to protect her daughter and cares about Jack, with someone who she's connected to by her past and always will be. But to me, Phyllis is shoving her nose too much into someone else's business. She's just looking for a fight right now, and I know she's that kind of person. But come on, stop being so desperate and pushy, Phyllis. I think Sally really cares about Jack as a person much more than she does about his wealth and status. I don't know what the future will bring, but Phyllis, please leave it. This is a good point too, that even though Lauren shut down the idea that Sally could actually be in love with Jack, what does Lauren know about Sally's feelings? If I was Sally, I would definitely be thinking, you don't know me. You are in no position to gauge what I feel about somebody. I mean, if you love somebody or if you lust somebody, it doesn't matter. You know, you're going to be able to know what that is. I like that Lauren said it. And I hope it gave Sally pause because, and you know, criticism of you should be, you should take it, you should absorb it, and you should ask yourself, okay, well, am I just lusting after him? Or is it love? Am I just, you know, where am I actually on this scale? It was a valid criticism, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that criticism is true. Robbie says, I'm definitely on Sally's side here. Phyllis needs to get off her high horse and remember that she's basically an outsider in Genoa City too. It would be one thing if Sally actually did something to Phyllis, but she hasn't. Sally has done absolutely nothing to Phyllis that would warrant this kind of animosity. But now that they've declared war, I hope it'll be Sally who comes out on top. Oh, hey, Ellen says, I've seen some rumors of a pairing between Adam and Sally in the cards. What? That would be a head turner, a head scratcher. That would really throw me off. If at the end of this, Sally and Jack stay broken up and Sally bumps into Adam, oh, the Genoa City world would explode. Two troublemakers together, I don't know if the town could handle it. I don't know. They've spent so much time working Adam into that triangle with Ray and Sharon, and I mean, you got Chelsea as a factor. I would be shocked. I mean, I've been saying that Adam needs something new, but I didn't think about a totally new relationship. Could that be it? I'm also thinking back to something that Gary mentioned last Sunday, which it was just a question of, how do you think Sharon Case wants that story with the triangle with Sharon, Adam, and Ray to shake out? What do you think Sharon Case's opinion on that is? Do you think that because she's in the relationship with Mark Grossman, do you think that she wants Adam and Sharon to have a reunion? Or does she want to keep that distance between her personal and professional life? And maybe she's rooting for Sharon and Ray to be together and maybe would prefer it if Y&R moved her mate into another direction so that they don't have that conflict or just, you know, spending too much time together. Or, you know, I mean, there's lots of pros and cons to working with your significant other, I'm sure. And it is an interesting question, Gary, of how does Sharon Case actually feel about it? I don't know. Well, another behind the scenes news. Kamna says, Allie and friends, I thought you would be amused to know that I got my second vaccine dose on the same day that Don Diamont did. Of course, I didn't look as hot in my Instagram photo as he did, but the point is that I could go out with him for an evening now. Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, in a way, it's like you're basically dating him right now. You two have that connection. I mean, it's the kind of dating where only you and I know that you're dating him, but it's legit. I'm jealous. Okay, everybody. That's our Y&R chat for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you go to the website to leave your comments, yrchat.com. And I hope you come back for next Sunday's chat. I'll be here. Will you? I love you guys. Have a good one. Bye.